Welcome to the Planetary Interaction tutorial. In this video, we will cover the basics of creating a colony, managing a supply chain, and moving items to and from planets. Before you begin colonizing a planet, you need to have a command center in your ship's cargo hold. Command centers can be purchased from the market in most regions. You will also need some ISK to pay for construction and planetary customs tax. First, you must train the remote sensing skill in order to scan for a suitable location on a planet. This skill can be purchased from the market in most regions. It is also available as a mission reward during the tutorial process. Now that we have a basic temperate command center in our cargo hold, we need to find a suitable temperate planet to colonize. Note that command centers are specific to different planetary environments and can only be installed on the corresponding planet type. Before you deploy your command center, it is important to place it in an area close to or in between the planetary resources that you wish to extract. To scan for resources, select the scan function and then the type of resource you wish to scan for. A heat map will be displayed over the planet, highlighting areas where resources are available. Warmer colors will highlight areas of high concentration, and cooler colors will highlight areas of low concentration. You can adjust the scanning sliders to highlight only areas of low or high resource deposits. When you have decided on a suitable area based on your scan results, select the Build menu and then your command center. Place the icon over the planet and left-click to deploy. When you are satisfied with your placement, press the Submit button to finalize the construction on the planet. You can see from the command center that it is generating power grid and CPU. This is important, as every structure and link relies on these resources in order to function. Now that you have placed a command center on the planet's surface and have scanned for resources, you are ready to deploy an extractor to begin harvesting. In this tutorial, we have scanned for microorganisms and have deployed our extractor in the area we want to harvest. After submitting your build changes, you will be charged for the construction cost of your building. You can then highlight the extractor and begin surveying for deposits. When the survey has completed, you will be able to select from a range of deposits. In this case, we have selected a deposit with a high yield per cycle, but a short depletion time, in order to quickly gather resources for our production chain. Once active, you will be able to see the extractor cycle time progress as it harvests resources, as well as the time until the deposit has been depleted. Be aware that the more players harvesting resources in the same location, the greater the rate of depletion for planetary resources. Now that you are extracting resources, it's time to learn how to manufacture raw materials into valuable commodities. Deploy a basic industry facility between your extractor and your command center, and then submit your build changes. When you highlight your factory, you are now able to select a schematic for production. In this instance, we plan to process our microorganisms into bacteria. Before we can begin production, we need to link our bacteria factory to a microorganisms extractor. To do this, you can highlight a structure and select the links icon and then click Create New. You can also right-click on a structure and select Create Link. Drag the link to the structure you want to be linked and then submit your changes. Note that links also require power grid and CPU, so it's best to make sure your structures aren't too far away, as this will waste command center resources. Once the structures are linked, you need to route commodities between them. To do this, highlight the output structure and select Products. Then select the product and click Create Route. You can then choose the quantity of product to be routed, often the maximum value. Now select the destination for the product and click Create Route. We have now routed our microorganisms to our bacteria factory. We can also see the factory progress as it gathers resources before commencing a production cycle. At some point in your production chain, you will need to store your products, either mid-production chain or at the end of the production line. To do so, simply deploy a storage facility building, then link and route anything you need to be stored there. Remember to submit your build changes once you're done. When your items are in storage, they will often need to be moved into a factory or prepared for off-world transport. To move items out of storage, highlight the storage facility and select Expedite Transfer. Here you can choose where the items should be moved to and in which quantities you wish them to be moved. Once you have created your items and have sent them to your command center, it's time to launch them into space. To do this, highlight the command center and select Launch. Add the goods you wish to export into the payload, noting that the larger the payload, the more ISK is required to perform the launch. After the launch has completed, open your journal and warp to the bookmark location to retrieve the goods from the cargo rocket. Launching cargo into space is a one-way transport method. A more cost-efficient method is to use the customs office orbiting the planet. To use the customs facility, you must first build a launch pad in order to both send and receive transports. You can also monitor your planet colonies remotely, using the Science and Industry tab after you have trained the appropriate skills. Thank you for watching this tutorial on planetary interaction.